This is the Fujifilm Classy W. Released 15 years ago in 2007, it's a 35mm film point-and-shoot camera with a fixed 28mm f2.8 lens. And while it doesn't have full manual exposure capabilities, it does have built-in flash, an exposure compensation dial on the front, and an aperture priority dial on the top. It's a beautifully designed camera that is the perfect analog complement to my modern silver and black Fujifilm X100V. And it pairs perfectly with a nicely worn leather strap like this one from Clever Supply Co. I actually like to wear this camera around my neck, as it draws the attention of both photographers and non-photographers alike. It's been a conversation piece every single place I go. The Fujifilm Classy W is my favorite camera of 2022, not because of the image quality that it produces or because of its feature set, but more so because of the creative mindset it has put me in when I'm shooting with this camera. The lessons I've learned embracing the workflow that comes along with an analog point-and-shoot camera are lessons that every photographer should learn. Film offers an inherent thrill that digital photography can never replicate. Every shot counts. For example, photographing a kid is hard enough. Photographing a kid and a dog who don't always get along and shooting that on film, well, that's an adrenaline rush. Being limited to 36 frames makes you feel like you have something on the line. And with rising film prices, you kinda do. You feel your mistakes viscerally. With that said, I feel like I don't shoot any more intentionally on film than what I do with digital. I pay attention to moments, light, and lines with my X100V just as much as I do with my Fujifilm Classy W. The main difference is how many times I actually press the shutter. I never feel the urge to shoot more than one frame of a particular scene. What I have noticed is an increased desire to experiment and collect photographs of subjects that I normally wouldn't photograph on digital. I'm genuinely curious as to how the light, color, and texture will render on the specific film stock that I'm shooting that day. Less controls and less options means less decisions. And by having less decisions for me to make, it allows me to refocus that energy entirely to being present. With live preview of modern mirrorless cameras, I've grown accustomed to controlling every pixel of the process in real time. Exposure, focus, and color are all meticulously adjusted as I'm shooting. With film, I have no way to see what I'm going to get, and I'm leaving it entirely up to the chance of the chemicals in the film emulsion. Being locked into a single focal length, a single ISO, a single film stock may sound like it would stifle your creative expression as a photographer. But in practice, this creative constraint leads to artistic freedom. Freedom to move, freedom to take risks, freedom to make happy accidents that you probably wouldn't attempt if the optimal tools were within arm's reach. If a live preview dissuaded you from fully executing a playful idea. Even when I review my film scans, I'm not zooming in to check focus, but rather I'm reviewing the composition and light to see if it communicates what I wanted to communicate, and seeing how the character of the film contrasts or complements my memory and message of that particular moment. Because of this, I've been able to spend more time creating, strategizing, thinking, and sharing of my photography. My favorite part of this medium is the delayed gratification. A gap in time allows me to forget what exactly happened. I forget the 36 shots I was trying to get, and I'm ecstatic when I get the email from my lab that my scans are ready. It pretty much feels like Christmas morning when reviewing how everything came out. Some of the frames trigger my brain to remember everything vividly, what we were doing, why we were out, and how I felt exactly when taking those photos. Anxious that they were drinking from cups without lids, feeling tired as I was trying to entertain the two kids when my wife was test driving our new family car, posing with their new kids' Peloton bikes, a toy my son was adamant on getting because he saw it in a catalog. In some frames, I don't clearly remember at all. I don't know the exact date or the time. I don't even know what happened that specific day, but these photos turn out to be some of my most cherished memories in photographic form. The out-of-focus charm, their expressions, the motion blur. The fact that it triggers my memory to hear their laughter and their pitter-patter of their little feet running around. All I know is that I decided that these moments were important enough or inspiring enough for me to document, and I'm always glad I did. The simplicity of this camera has allowed me to slow down more and really observe my surroundings. Film has allowed me to notice things that I haven't noticed before and reconnect to why I fell in love with photography in the first place. Photography has taught me to appreciate the beauty in the ordinary. Light is everywhere. Shapes are everywhere. So in theory, we can create anywhere with this medium. This photo in particular is a perfect example of that. Decades from now, this photo will tell so much about the time that it was taken, what was happening in my life, what was a reality to my kid's childhood during a pandemic, and even me feeling the pressure to snap a quick photo while my wife was browsing the aisle before she was ready to move on to finding the next item on the list. It's my job to check off the items, and I obviously was not doing this. Photography is a little I Spy game that I play to find good light and cool compositions that is intertwined with the natural events and realities of my life as a father and a husband. After 10 years of being a professional photographer for work, this camera reminded me how to play that game again. Just for fun and just for me. In a world of more megapixels and artificial intelligence permeating its way into every facet of photography, this camera has taught me to slow down. No matter what gear you use, analog or digital, remember this. Make sure you are leaving a part of you in each and every image you make. Your perspective and your emotions all influence when, where, and what you document when you press the shutter. And while I know this sounds like a whole lot of pressure, always remember to have fun embracing this creative process.